3. Little day trip, night trip down to Newcastle, and then a little cruise taster coming back up to Dundee. So this was the coach heading down. I think we were the only people who didn't have alcohol on it, because it said don't take alcohol on it, so we didn't, and that was a mistake. So we must have left about 8:20. It actually left. It was about 3.5 hours on the bus. Journey was actually really good. And then once we get down there, the coach stops outside the terminal for the boats, and it's just a short walk into the actual hall itself. This was the first queue of the day. There's a lot of queuing when you go cruising. If you've never been on a cruise, be prepared to queue a lot. So you queue up to get your door carved for your room, and then you queue up to actually check in to the ferry, which is pretty simple. You show them this little bit of paper and your passport, they take photographs, and every time you buy something on board, they scan the card, which is this, and your photograph comes up on the little PDA things, and you sign it and away you go. And then there's another queue to get onto a bus. The short bus ride takes you to the bottom of the cruise ship, and this was going to be our home for the night. The Ambition, which is an Ambassador Cruise Line ship. It's not that big. There was a ferry going to Newcastle sitting across the way, which was smaller than it, but it isn't a big ship, which for the first time cruiser like myself is probably a good thing. This was the way the luggage goes in. Not that gentleman's fault, but the luggage was, speaking to somebody, it takes a while for the bags to go in the actual boat itself. We carried them in. So you go in and then you follow the large amount of people waiting, and you go for lunch. This is the reception area, which is beautiful. The boat itself is inside, it's really nice. I don't know when it was renovated, I don't think it was that long ago, but it's nice inside. You can't really fault it inside. The staff are nice. It's got lots of bars, a few restaurants, and it's easy to navigate around once you get your head in gear. So the first place you go is a buffet, the Borough Market. This was an added extra, which was nice. You can see the cutlery moving back and forward. The engine was on, and when it's stationary you get the slight vibration in the tables. Not too bad. This was a vegetarian roll of some variety. That was a veggie curry, which tasted nice. This was shepherd's pie, which was actually delicious. Really, really good. Really impressed. And then I had some cheese, because I always finish on cheese if it's there. It was good. So then we were at the front of the ship. Actually had a brilliant cabin, and we walked all the way along through the sort of level that we're on, which was level 9, and we had our meal for the night pre-booked for us in the second setting, and then this is the room tour. So it took me back. I didn't expect it was going to be quite as big as this, but you got a nice sized telly, really big window, and we were facing right to the front of the ship. The bed was really, really comfortable, as you could see. Brilliant view, absolutely fantastic. And you'll see a little time-lapse video that I took when we were leaving port there. It's got a thermostatic control there, which was good. Plenty of wardrobe space if you were going to be in here for a week or so, to hang up your nice suits and frocks and whatever. Lots of places for clothes and shoes. And the table itself, now one little tip, because someone was sat where they couldn't find the power sockets, they're underneath the table. And as you can see, there's a European socket, a British socket, and 2 USBs, which was nice. Bedside lamps, which work on and off, no bother. Still can't go with the size of that window. And then the bathroom was actually very, very decent. So a nice big usable basin. I'm a ceramic man, I sell bathrooms. So a nice usable basin. The shower was excellent. It was a strange sort of offset quad setup, but plenty of room on the inside. I'm a bigger guy, and it was certainly plenty of room for me to move around. There was a clothes drying line there, which pinged away, and the pressure of the shower was outstanding. It was a really, really good shower. A little shaving mirror built into your mirror there. The mirror also demisted, which was good. And nice hand grower fittings. Really, really well appointed bathroom. Plenty of room on the inside of it. Plenty of towels. The soap and the hair shampoo and conditioner was very good as well. No complaints, absolutely no complaints. Stayed in a lot worse hotels than this. So coming back into the room, here's the view again. Pretty decent. And then just a scan of the room. And then we were gagging, so we went to the first bar we could find, which was called the Cavern. Absolutely nothing other than a little bit of Beatles memorabilia when you walk in, and they had 4 Apple records on the wall. But other than that, there was no affiliation to Mersey Beat or anything. It was just a nice wee bar, well, big bar. When you go into these bars, the first thing is you don't stand at the bar and order a drink. You go to your table and they will have bar service for you. I like this as well. If you were on your own, you could go to these places and sit, and other solo travellers could come. And they've got special events for the solo traveller as well, which was quite nice. You could get a drinks package if you're on the boat for longer than 3 days. Cocktails weren't magnificent, but the beer was okay, even though it was Foster's on draft, which was a disappointment, but you live with it. Then you have to go and a muster point and do your safety thing, and then it was back for more alcohol. Another disappointing cocktail, actually 2 disappointing cocktails there, and that was the ferry leaving. So you can't really see, I suppose, how much smaller the ferry was compared to the cruise ship, but there was a fair size difference. It was a decent sized ferry. The weather was horrendous in North Shields. It was shocking, and there's another wee video if you want to go and have a look at it. I'll put it on the channel of how bad it was. But the language is quite fruity, so I've not put it in this video in case it gets a slash. And although I don't think of myself as a great YouTuber, because I'm just doing this for fun, I think videos like this would be handy, because we were told nothing about what to do on the boat. The communication for a first time cruiser was actually unbelievable. You didn't know what you were meant to be doing at any point, so these are just some guides. First one is just sit at a table and someone will come and serve you. Don't stand at a bar because they'll look through you, which is mental, but there we go. So this is a walking track. I think if you went around there something like 10 times, it's equivalent to a mile. And this is our our sort of time-lapse video of the boat leaving harbour, which I think is pretty cool. If somebody could tell me why that wee guy pulled that flag down, that would be good to know, because before we came into port in Dundee, the wee guy went back and put the flag back up, so don't know what that means. So being a beer channel, is obviously beer involved, which was nice. The Tiger beer was delicious, and that was a nice bar actually. It was just in front of the Palladium, which you'll see in a little while, and then it was back to more queuing, because it's what you do when you're on a cruise. You queue and wait, and dinner was served in the Buckingham restaurant, which was delightful. So this is a beetroot tartare, which was delicious, and then oxtail stew, which was, it's not stew, but it was delicious. Roast pork, which was scrumptious, and then had some wine, rosé with it, because my wife doesn't like red and I'm not mad keen a fan, but white. But it was nice. Then I had cheese to finish, and then I went to the Palladium, which was interesting. It was a Rock of Ages show. Very confused, and I still don't really know what was going on with it. The people in it are great. They're really good singers and they can dance and so on, but I think the choreography was a bit... I don't know what the producer was thinking about. They had like guys dressed up as vampires, and at one point the girls came out wearing kilts. Is it because we're going to Scotland? It was random, absolutely random, but it was fun. It was a lot busier than that as well. So at this point the boat has basically managed to get to Berwick. It's about 10 o'clock. We retired about 11. The next morning, woken up with the bill under the door just to let us see what we'd spent. £119.79 was the bill. We had 2 cards, so the other card also had a £7 tip, which is automatically added to it. So you give all your bank details and it comes off automatically, which is nice and simple and easy. And then I got to do something which was an ambition of mine, to come into Dundee on a cruise ship and then dock. Anyone that doesn't know, Dundee's history was based around jute jam and journalism, and the jute in particular. We were a big whaling city and a big jute city because of the whaling, and the port was important, and it was just nice as a lifelong Dundonian to come in like that. So then we all had disembark time, so there was more sitting waiting for that. We were kicked out of the room at 7:30 in the morning, and a knock on the door at 7:30 to make sure we were out of the room. So you get breakfast and then you watch the boat coming in, sitting around. We got off the boat bang on 10:30, which wasn't too bad. As we got off the boat, as you can hear, we were piped off, which was delightful. A really nice thing from Dundee. I'm thinking it was Dundee that was setting us up. And I'm a big slagger up at Dundee because I don't think we do a lot of things particularly well. But this was actually brilliant. It's a bit glitter on a turd, granted, but you work with what you've got. As you can see, fairly big ship. Small in cruising terms, but fairly big ship. So once past the piper, you come through into an old shed with some tents in the back of it as well, which is actually really looks simple. If you were checking into the ship, it looks a lot simpler than down at North Shields anyway. This is the area here you would check in with. And then if you're on the cruise ship, they've got buses running into the city for free, which is nice. And then they've got the tour boat stuff as well, which is really good. And then as we walked home, a picture of the cruise ship parked up basically outside our garden, which is nice. So yeah, very good. Worth the money? Probably. But the big question is, would I go on a cruise again? And the answer is yeah, 100% I would. A couple of the things that I found frustrating, not knowing what to do, but you know, didn't expect all the queuing, although speaking to everybody, that's a cruising thing. I didn't really like that, but it's one of these things. But the boat was lovely and the staff in it were good. I felt that it was actually okay value for money. Not fantastic, but okay. And it was nice going to bed somewhere, waking up somewhere different. That was actually pretty cool. Couple of things: if you do go on a cruise, make sure that you bring like a dress wear for night, and remember and pack your wallet. I think also the thing that got me was there was no upsell. I assumed it would be a timeshare thing and people would be trying to sell me stuff. But I'm actually quite disappointed in that. Ambassador of the cruise line didn't have anybody during the long periods of waiting that you have. I don't understand why nobody was trying to sell me anything. Maybe that's a salesman thing. And the other thing was on the coach ride on the way down from the agent that we got the booking from, Ramsay's. I feel that if we were given maybe more information about what to do and don't on the boat, but I'm being picky with it. But it was good.